Okay, it's time to talk about a kind of complicated story. I was thinking about something else. A kind of complicated story with a very Machiavellian king. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Machiavellian. Remember that statement? The end justifies the means. Henry VIII is definitely a Machiavellian type king. Definitely a I will do whatever I want to get what I want. That being said, Henry VIII is King of England. Okay. There's just been a really big power struggle in England, the War of the Roses. Okay. Um, his family just won with his father. Does any king want to have a short dynasty? No way. Every king wants to have their family rule for a really long time. Well, Henry's no different. So, how do we keep a family dynasty going? Well, we have a heir to the throne. Yeah. So, Henry VIII gets married. Okay, listen. This is the most famous painting of Henry VIII, probably. I mean, there's several, there's a whole lot of them. But this is probably the most famous one. All right? This was done later in his life. When he was younger, he was considered quite attractive, girls and boys, whatever. He was considered quite attractive. Okay? I know you look at him and go, okay, I get it. But again, when he was younger, he was incredibly athletic. He had a very charismatic personality. People liked him. They liked being around him. He did everything to excess. He did everything like if I'm going to have a piece of cake, why not have half the cake? If I'm going to, I don't know, drink a keg, why not drink three? He does everything to excess. Well, Henry VIII has a lot of women. He's married. I'll talk about her in a minute. But he does sleep around quite a bit. He's definitely the party boy. Okay? The woman he marries, her name is Catherine of Aragon. Okay, look. Henry VIII is up here in England. Okay? He marries Catherine of Aragon. Okay? That does not mean that England owns Aragon now. Okay? She has a brother, he's king or whatever. So it's not like Henry gets Spain. Okay? Well, Spain, don't worry about Spain yet, but Aragon. But Spain is very hardcore Catholic. Very hardcore Catholic. And Henry says he's a good Catholic boy. I think he breaks every single like Christian rule possible, probably on purpose. Um, Henry's just very Machiavellian in his beliefs. He does whatever he has to do and he does whatever he wants to do. Morals don't play a role. Right and wrong, who cares? I got what I wanted. Okay? So these two don't really mesh at all. This is Catherine. Right here. Okay? Henry, his wife Catherine. Okay, nice. Every single year I have kids that are like, ugh, be nice. We can't all be gorgeous. Yeah? Okay. They're total opposites of each other. Guys, Catherine is a very devout Catholic. She's a good girl. She does what she's supposed to. Um, she will get pregnant. And if I remember right, she had a miscarriage or a stillbirth first. But she will get pregnant with a baby that actually like lives. It's a girl. Ugh. Why does Henry not like the fact that it's a girl? Can women lead? No. It's okay. They'll keep trying. It's okay. We'll get a boy. Guys, I'm the firstborn in my family. It's not like my parents were like, ugh, well, we'll never have a son now. I mean, have a brother, right? He's just 2 years younger than me. They just keep trying. Well, it never happens. Here's the problem. If Henry's daughter, Mary, that's her name, marries Bob, it's no longer Henry's dynasty in charge of England. It's now Bob's dynasty. Yes, Henry's daughter is queen, but it's no longer Henry's family's name that's in charge. It's Bob's family's name. Are you with me? So if it's, I don't know, Bob Brown, that's a good name. Henry's last name is Tudor, Tudor. Kids are always like, Tudor, Tudor. Okay. So his dynasty is the Tudor dynasty. Well, if his daughter marries Bob Brown, it's no longer the Tudor dynasty, it's now the Brown dynasty. That's not okay for Henry. He wants a son. Oh my gosh, I need a son. And his wife just won't give him one. Okay, seriously? Guys, Henry goes to the Pope and says, Pope, this woman won't give me a son. She just refuses. It's not really how it works. You know, there's these things that you have called chromosomes. Should have learned this. I know you know this. Men have XY chromosomes, women have XX chromosomes. When they have sex, the only chromosome that she can give to create a little baby is an X, because all she has is XX, right? So she gives an X. Bloop. He can either give an X or a Y. If he gives an X chromosome, bloop, then we have a baby down here who has XX chromosome. What's that? A girl. Okay. So let's change the scenario. They have sex. Yeah. She gives a what chromosome? X, because that's all she has. Let's say this time he gives a Y. Now we have a baby that is XY chromosome. XY chromosome means boy. Ding, ding, ding. The men are responsible for picking, like it's your choice, but for whatever, the sex of a baby. Now, in Henry VIII's defense, did they know that at this point? No way. They had no clue about chromosomes or anything like that, okay? But he goes to the Pope and he's like, this woman just refuses to give me a son. I gotta get an annulment. I gotta get a divorce. Well, the Pope is like, not a bad Pope. Plus, he happens to be friends with her father in Spain. And he's like, yeah, if I do that, I make her dad mad, and I'm not gonna do that. Sorry. Sorry, you cannot have a divorce. I'm sorry, an annulment. No. Henry says, all right, I'll just take care of it on my own. Henry secretly marries his girlfriend, Anne Boleyn. So now Henry is married. Let me move my picture. Henry is married to Catherine and Anne Boleyn, because that's legal. He goes to Parliament. Remember Parliament, the governing body? Yeah. And he says, I did something. and you have to fix it. I went ahead and married Anne. Parliament's like, dude, you can't marry another woman when you're already married. Henry says, well, I did it. I married my girlfriend. I have 2 wives. What are you ever going to do? You're going to have to give me a divorce from her. Parliament says, what are you talking about? In what world do you live? We can't give a divorce. And if you're already married to Catherine, you're not legally married to Anne. He says, oh, I know. Here's how you're going to do that, Parliament. And he gives them a law. He says, you're going to pass this. Henry's going to create a whole new church. He's like, if the Germans can do it, we can do it. Henry VIII creates a whole new church right here. Sorry. It's called the Anglican Church. I'm trying to get it where you can see it. Here we go. Okay, look. Every year I have kids say Anglican. Look at the word. There is no E here, right here. If there was an E here, it would be Anglican, but it's not. There's no E. The word is Anglican. Angle, A-N-G-L-E, is one of the big deal like English tribes that existed in England before they became like an actual kingdom, the Angles, okay? If something is English, it's English. The way that the A used to be written was, I know you've seen it before, an A and an E together. Like, look at your phone. You have it on your phone. Let me show you. Oh, I can't show you that. Here. I don't have any paper here. Do you see it right there? Right there. Okay. That was the letter in the medieval, like in Old English or whatever. And over the years, the E got dropped, and we have Anglican. Okay. Well, then over the years, for whatever reason, actually, I think it's backwards. I think I have it backwards. The A got dropped, and we have England today. Regardless, who cares? Anglican means the Church of England. Okay, if you go down A Street, we have an Anglican church in Midland across, it's on A Street. It's across from that school. Is it Bowie? Whatever the big like art music school is, it's right across from there. Okay, look at the name, Anglican Church. To begin with, originally Henry VIII's Anglican Church was the exact same as the Catholic Church. Like there was no difference. Except royal men can divorce. Not any man. Not royal women. Royal men can divorce. Guys, he creates a whole new church just to get rid of her. If you're her, how do you feel? If you're her daughter, how do you feel? Knowing that your father hated your mom so much that he separated from the Catholic Church. Y'all, all of England gets excommunicated. All of England because of Henry VIII. Now that the people of England are like, oh my gosh, we've been excommunicated. And he's like, who cares? Whatever. Just so he can get a divorce from Catherine. Is he a little full of himself? You gotta love the crazies in history. They're the fun ones. So, Catherine, divorced. She's gone. And Anne Boleyn, she's in. Anne Boleyn gets pregnant. Yes! She pops out a beautiful baby, Elizabeth. A beautiful baby, what? A little girl. Henry's like, son of a biscuit! These women just won't give me a son. Anne Boleyn gets pregnant again, and I can't remember if it was a miscarriage or a stillbirth, but the baby doesn't make it. And Henry has already moved on. Henry has a new girlfriend. Of course he does. I know you see what's coming. He has a new girlfriend, Jane Seymour. Well, all of these rumors, all these rumors start spreading about Anne Boleyn. She's so desperate to get pregnant with Henry VIII's child that she's having sex with her brother. Then they'll pass off the baby as Henry's. Okay, listen. Historians don't think that was really happening. Historians think that was just a rumor. Not true, just a rumor. But man, it's spreading that she and her brother are having sex. And think about this. Treason is when you try to overthrow your government. You try to overthrow the king, get rid of the king, get rid of the government, right? She and her brother are arrested. Okay? And other people too, but they're arrested for treason and witchcraft. Because I mean, only a witch would want to have sex with her brother. Okay. Is having sex with your brother and passing off the baby as the king's son treason? The dog is chewing on something underneath me, and I keep hearing. The answer is yes. It's a stretch, you guys. But see, here's the thing. If I have sex with my brother, which I wouldn't, but if I have sex with my brother and we have a baby, a son, and then I tell the king, my husband, that our baby, my brother and my baby, it's his son, and then we put our son on the throne, does our son, me and my brother, have me and my husband's blood? No. So we would be overthrowing the king's blood. You're like, that is so not treason. Technically, it is in a roundabout, weird, blood related way. Would anybody know? No. But see, Henry's ready to marry again. I mean, we got to get rid of Anne. So, Anne Boleyn and her brother and some other people are put on trial, like some other, what are they called? Like accomplices, people who knew, right? Dead heads. And she's like, if I remember right, she's made to like watch her brother, and then she goes. That being said, Henry now gets married to Jane Seymour. Jane Seymour gets pregnant. Jane Seymour has a son. Hallelujah. We have a son. Finally, Henry can be done, right? Well, Jane Seymour gets sick and dies. Son of a biscuit. Henry just needs him a woman. So he gets married fairly quickly to Anne of Cleves. I think she's from, it's the Northern Holy Roman Empire, the Netherlands, or I think she's Dutch. But anyway, she's Germanic. Let's just say that. They're a total bad match too. They get along okay, actually, friend wise, but like lover wise, nah. So he gets rid of her. Then he marries Catherine Howard, who I'm pretty sure he chops her head off. Then he marries Catherine Parr. There's a goofy little rhyme. Are you ready? Watch my mouse. It's like those little balls, whenever you like sing along. Are you ready? divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. I'm pretty sure that's a like little extra credit thing on your test. Just a little thing. Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. Can you imagine being one of his subjects in England while all this drama's going on? And it's like, I don't know who the queen is today. Who is she? I don't know. What a freaking mess. Meanwhile, with the church, people are freaking out because the Pope has excommunicated people. Henry says excommunication doesn't matter. Why? Because Martin Luther says it doesn't matter. Plus, I mean, everybody wants to go to war with everybody. Her father is threatening. I mean, there's just it's crazy. Things are just crazy. Why? Because Henry needed a son. The whole reason for this, the cause of Henry VIII doing the Anglican Church, is to get a son, a male heir. He has daughters. He wants a son. And it's not even just that he wants it, to continue his dynasty, he needs it. Now, Henry VIII has some issues, some health issues. He was incredibly athletic when he was younger, okay? And he was an amazing hunter. Well, one of the times he was hunting, he like fell off the horse or something and he hurt his leg. His leg never fully healed the right way. Okay. So he had like this messed up leg. So because of his leg, I mean, think about it. If you have leg issues, you're not doing a lot of running or working out or anything like that anymore. So, you know, he becomes a big boy. Yeah, which of course is going to put some stress on your heart. And he had a meat issue. He loved him some meat. He ate meat all the time. Like, who needs rabbit food? Who needs vegetables? When you can have like 400 pounds of steak and rabbit and deer and I don't know, whatever else people eat. So he was like always constipated because he ate too much meat. He just had some like, health issues. He dies fairly young. I don't remember exactly how old he is. I don't know if I put his dates on your notes. I didn't. But he's not too old when he dies. Okay. That being said, when he dies, oh, this is just a little family picture. I'll come back to it. When he dies, his son takes the throne. Let me show you here. Remember, we have, well, those three ladies don't matter. Who cares? Remember, we have a daughter with Catherine, Mary. Yes? He has a daughter with Anne Boleyn, Elizabeth. Those girls don't get to rule first. In the order of succession to be a king, to be the like in charge, it goes boy. Then it would go to Mary. Okay, so Mary doesn't get to be in charge of England first. Edward does, his son. Okay, so Edward is now King of England. Here we go. He continues the Anglican Church, so they stay Protestant as a country, but he doesn't live very long. He's king for like, I don't remember, you guys, all these details, I don't remember, like 8 years or something. And then he dies kind of suddenly, like it's sick, boom, dead. And then what? Who's in charge? He wasn't married. He doesn't have any kids. What do we do? Well, Mary is married to the King of Spain. Well, I don't think he's a king yet. When they actually are married, I don't think he's king yet, but it doesn't really matter. But England, like the people of England, never really saw Mary as English. Because Catherine was Spanish, she marries a Spaniard. She was always seen as Spanish. not English, even though she's half English. So the people of England didn't really like her. Okay. She takes over. Look at her. That is horrifying. She does have her father's red hair, by the way. That's horrifying. Look at her eyebrows. I told you when we talked about the Mona Lisa. Big foreheads were considered beautiful. They were shaving eyebrows and they were shaving the tip of their hairline. Told ya. Okay, so anyway, she just looks horrifying. She gets a nickname. You know her nickname. Bloody Mary. You've all played that game. Yeah, I did when I was in fifth grade at Sam Houston. It's like what we did every single day at lunch/recess. We would go into one of those outside bathrooms and we'd turn off all those lights. And we, all these girls, yeah, we'd face the bathroom mirror and we'd say, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, as we would turn around in circles. And then we'd open their eyes and we'd be like, ah, and we'd all run out. I know our teachers were like, oh, I know they were. Guys, you've all played that game. Bloody Mary. Mary hates the Catholic Church. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, 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 no. Erase. She hates the Anglican Church. Are you surprised in any way, shape, or form? Hold on. Ein Momente bitte. Dang, where'd it go? Here we go. Okay, here's my arrow. It should be no surprise that she hates the Anglican Church. Her father created the Anglican Church to get rid of her mom and basically her. She hates it. So, she forces all of England to go back to the Catholic Church. She makes the Anglican Church illegal and she brings the Catholic Church back. Makes the Pope happy. Most English people don't really care because it's the same church. The only difference is royal men can royal men can divorce. Except they do care because they don't like her. They see her as a Spanish person ruling their English country. And so they feel like their way to protest is to stay Anglican. Okay, it's also going to stay like you're going to die. Mary had tons of people who professed to be Anglicans rounded up and killed. If you wouldn't like change back to the Catholic Church, dead. There were entire churches, like Anglican churches, that were what are they called, like barred and set on fire, like with people in them. Yeah, she killed a lot of them. People hated her, but then she gets sick and dies. She doesn't rule that long. All this drama that Henry VIII went through to continue his name, and we've lost a kid, and we've killed tons of people and lost a daughter. She dies. And now who's left? Elizabeth. Okay, a little background with Elizabeth. Elizabeth was the daughter, yeah, of someone who had been found guilty and killed for treason. Okay? Did I do my timer? Dang it, I forgot. I'm sorry if this is going long. But Elizabeth was the daughter of somebody who had been found guilty of treason. So, Elizabeth couldn't live in the castle with Henry. She was sent up north somewhere and she was raised up there. Now, y'all, this is not like a Sleeping Beauty story where she's princess, but she doesn't know she's princess. She knows. Okay. She would go back home and like visit Henry and stuff. This is like a family picture. We have Edward and we have Elizabeth over here. Okay. She loved her dad like crazy. She thought her dad was awesome because she believed all the lies. She believed all the crap that her mom was a witch, that her mom was having sex with her brother. She believed it all. She didn't really care for her mom. And I mean, her dad hung the moon. problem. She can't be in charge of England. Why? Mary was. Mary was married. Mary had a husband. Elizabeth did not. So I'm not married. And I'm like, so? Because, I mean, I need a man to take care of me. She couldn't be in charge because she didn't have a husband. She makes a deal with Parliament. She says, hey, I'll get married. Maybe to one of you. If I get to be in charge. Elizabeth is so smart. And in some ways, she's Machiavellian. She's not like as Machiavellian as other rulers, but in some ways she is. She's going to lie about getting married for like the rest of her life. Yeah, I'll get married. She never will. Because she knows that the minute she gets married, she loses her freedom. She loses her power to be in charge of England. She loses her autonomy. She loses whatever she has. And she just becomes a sweet little queen who just takes care of her husband. And she's like, no, 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 that's not for me. I love Elizabeth. Elizabeth, there's several different pictures of her. Okay. I think she's the second most painted monarch in history. Louis XIV is the most painted monarch in history. I could be wrong about Elizabeth being second. It may be Marie Antoinette. I don't remember, but she's in like the top 10 for sure. There's a lot of paintings of Elizabeth. Okay. Elizabeth does have her father's red hair. And look, eyebrows. Told you. It's considered beautiful to have big foreheads and no eyebrows at this time period. One thing that kids always notice too with this is that that's just a collar. Kids are like, why? Why do you wear what you wear? It's just a style. That's all. Just a style. Let's analyze this painting for a second. You see her red hair. Look at that forehead. Told you. Told you it was coming. This, again, it's just a collar of the time period. Look at her dress. Y'all, Elizabeth was really, really tall and really, really tiny. When you see these giant sleeves and stuff, that's the material. Her waist is like little, but that's the material. And then, of course, she has like the hoop type skirt. Okay, look. If we analyze this, what do you see here? The New World. Keep that in mind. Look right here. It's not exploration. It's the Spanish Armada. Keep that in mind. I'm getting there. I don't think there's... Oh, yeah, there is. I forgot about this over here. On this side, you have ships again. But what's happening to these ships? The Spanish Armada. Okay. I believe I have another one. Oh, my arrow went away. I don't know why those arrows go away. There we go. Okay, something interesting here. Let's look at this painting. Her hair. Look at all these jewelry, or all this jewelry. Ooh. By the way, I have a reproduction of these earrings. They're like Queen Elizabeth earrings. I can't wear them because they're too small for my holes. But by the way, and see, look again. Big forehead. So we have several paintings of Queen Elizabeth. Okay. Again, she's going to just like have many men, many. By the way, the people of England loved her. And they thought, oh, she is so virginal. She's not married. She doesn't have sex. They actually called her the Virgin Queen. Yeah. She's so far from it, it's not even funny. But I will tell you, Virginia is named for her. I'm not even making that up. It is. Okay. Oh, let me go back here. Okay, so Queen Elizabeth takes over after Mary the First, right? Sorry. Queen Elizabeth takes over after Mary the First and immediately switches the church back to the Anglican Church. Now, imagine you're alive through all these rulers. I don't know that you would be through all this time, but just pretend like you started out Catholic under Henry VIII. Then under Henry VIII, you went to Anglican. Under Edward, his son, you stay Anglican. But then under Mary the First, you go to Catholic. Then under Elizabeth, you go back to Anglican. And in all honesty, has anything changed for you? Just the name. That's it. Elizabeth makes a decree, though. She says, okay, look, the Anglican Church is now the official Church of England. We will not be going back to the Catholic Church. I'm not going to kill you like my demon sister did, but you can't stay here. If you're Catholic, you gotta go. If you're Catholic, go to France. They're Catholic. Go to Spain. Go anywhere. But you can't stay here. If you're any of those other weird groups that aren't Anglican, like, I don't know, the Pilgrims, or the Puritans, or the Quakers, or all these other groups, you can't stay here. I'll give you some time. I don't remember how long. 8 years, 10 years, whatever. She says, I'll give you some time, but you gotta go. Get out of England. I hate when people comment on my YouTube videos. Don't comment on them. I'm gonna delete it. I don't even know who that person is. Don't care. So anyway, this is for teaching. I'm not trying to be like a YouTuber. Anyway, so she says, look, you can't stay here. And there's this new place that has recently been discovered called the Americas. Wait, what? Okay, listen. We're in the 1500s. Did you notice? Did I just skip the period of exploration? No, it's an entire unit coming next. It's just that this is dealing with one thing and then exploration is the next unit. It's all happening at the same time. Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. We're in the 1500s. Queen Elizabeth says, look, you can be any of these other religions. I'm okay with it, but get out of England. You can't stay here. When you learned in the 8th grade, people started coming from England to the Americas for religious freedom. True, because Elizabeth said, I'm not going to kill you, but get out. That's why. Huh. Now, the first successful colony is Virginia, Jamestown. And it's not going to like happen until after she's dead. It'll happen in 1607. There is a colony that happens under her reign called Roanoke. Have you heard of that? I know you have. Don't believe all the American Horror Story stuff. That is not historically accurate. But the Roanoke colony does happen under her. And yeah, it's not successful. It doesn't work. But that's why people are starting to go to the Americas from England. She says, you can't stay here. Sorry. There's also an issue with Spain. This guy, King Philip II. King Philip II declares war on England because Queen Elizabeth can't rule by herself. Plus, she got rid of the Catholic Church. He says, I'm going to save the souls of the English. So he goes to war. He sends his armada. An armada is just a fleet of ships. You could call it the Spanish Navy if you chose. The Spanish Armada. Okay? Well, Elizabeth knows the Armada's coming. Elizabeth knows she can't beat it. She knows she can't. She is so freaking lucky, you guys. The Armada comes in this way. Okay? You see right here where it says Normandy? That's France. The Armada comes in this way. Yeah, there's battles. All these X's here are battles. This is England, London's right there. Okay? So the Armada comes in, there's battles. The English aren't doing so great. I mean, they're not like losing terribly, but they're not doing so great. Okay? Spain is about to totally circle them and take over, basically. And then, do you remember this picture? Remember? There's a terrible, terrible storm. And this storm totally destroys a ton of the Spanish ships. We're talking like most of the Spanish ships. Okay? Sheesh. There we go. The storm causes all these ships to get destroyed and like turn over and like sink and all kinds of good stuff. Yeah? Of course, Elizabeth takes the win. God saved us. Hallelujah. Yeah? Philip is totally disgraced because the rest of Europe is like, dude, you got beat by a girl. Now, y'all, it's nature. Elizabeth's lucky. But the rest of Europe is like, Philip, one of the strongest countries in Europe at this point, just got beat by a girl. How embarrassing. Oh, I thought I had another picture. That's okay. At this point, the Spanish Navy is really hurt. Okay, the Armada is mostly destroyed. And what's going to end up happening as a result of this? Spain, who we're going to talk about in the next unit with exploration, because it's happening at the same time, but Spain had the strongest navy in the world. Absolutely the strongest navy. Well, not anymore. England is going to start becoming a much stronger navy as a result of this. England sees some of these wrecks and stuff, and they get some of the technology from the Spanish ships, and they just copy it. And now they have ships just like the Spanish. And I'm going to talk more about the Spanish and Portuguese ships in the next unit with the period of exploration, because their ships are superior. They are. We'll talk about it. But not anymore, because Queen Elizabeth takes that technology. Okay, the last thing that we need to deal with that happens under Elizabeth. Shouldn't take long because you already know. Who's that? William Shakespeare. Yes, there's conspiracy theories about whether he was real or not. I'm so not a conspiracy theorist, but I hear this every year. If you've heard that, awesome, cool, yes, I know about it, but who cares? Um, William Shakespeare's plays occur under Elizabeth, and well, start. And basically, when she would have like parties and stuff for her friends, she would have him write a play for them and put on the play. That's kind of how he got his start. Okay, do you want to watch a story about people who aren't like you? Or do you want to watch a story about people who are like you, who are from your social status, who experience the same things that you experience? As a playwright, you need to know who your audience is. And his audience was Queen Elizabeth and a whole bunch of nobles. So, what are his plays about? Mostly nobles and royalty. If you look through his plays, nobles and royalty. I believe at this point, y'all have already read, I just forgot it. It's the one I hate, Romeo and Juliet. I'm so not a romantic, so I'm like, ugh, they just kill themselves, stupid. But if you liked it, okay, cool. But that is about rich merchants. Okay. Um, England also had recently had like the whole War of the Roses with like people who aren't supposed to like each other, so that got people. He also does like Macbeth, I believe. You will read Macbeth this year as sophomores. I don't think you read Hamlet till your seniors, but oh, that one's good. It's about the son of a king who gets killed by his uncle, who's sleeping with his mom. It's a good one. So anyway, he writes a lot about royalty and nobility, and they're all flawed characters. In the medieval period, we had the perfect gallant knight, the knight who does no wrong. Not anymore. Do you want to watch a movie with a perfect hero? I mean, if you like Superman, that's great. I hate him. Part of it is because he's so perfect. I prefer the flawed hero, the one with a problem. Why? Because I got problems. I'm not perfect. I want to see somebody who struggles with something. Absolutely. His characters in his stories, they're flawed anti heroes. They're not always good people. Y'all, Hamlet is insane. Spoiler alert, Hamlet's crazy. Yeah. Romeo and Juliet are so flawed. Macbeth, I mean, I don't want to ruin these for y'all. I guess I shouldn't have told you that Hamlet's crazy. Sorry. Because you will read them. But a lot of his stories, you have these flawed, messed up people, but you still root for them. You want them to win. We're so used to the anti-hero today, we don't even think about it. I mean, almost every superhero is flawed. Batman's the most like, I don't know, obvious iconic. He's pretty seriously flawed, isn't he? Who are some other anti-heroes? Think about it for a minute. Most of our superheroes are anti-heroes because today we want to see people struggle. We want to see that. We like that. Shakespeare really gets that going. Now, I will say the Greeks did anti-heroes also. Absolutely, in several of their like stories. Um, my brain just totally shut down. Odysseus in the Odyssey, big time flawed hero. But this is the Renaissance, so they're going back to the idea that the Greeks had, right? Okay, I know this is a longer video, the whole English drama. Done and done. I do believe. Yep, we'll go to him next. If I can find the stop button.